Ladies and gentlemen, this is your TNA report here. Actually, I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Impact Wrestling report here at OneWrestling.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I am the Mark of the Masses, the Man on the Plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some, well, Impact Wrestling today. I gotta get used to not saying TNA today. Kind of used to rhyme and everything like that, but anyway, um, well, again, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm here at the offices of OneWrestling.com. Super, super late, man. I'm going to be working a lot of overtime over the next couple of weeks. Got a lot of things coming on. WrestleMania, again, is right around the corner. So we have the Big Slam Nation team covering that. But today we're here to talk Impact Wrestling. Got my cup of coffee. Got everything ready. So let's jump right into this show, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, first and foremost, let me just say this. This show had a different feel that we've had in a while. Now, I'm gonna come from a fan's perspective, not a reporter's perspective. Watching this, I remember watching TNA back in the day when it was at its precipice, when it was at the best it's ever been. And I'm not saying this is anywhere near the best it's ever been, but it felt different. It felt new. It felt fresh, even though we saw a bunch of old faces. I like the flow of the program. Now, right off the bat, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, they talk too much, blah, 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 and I hate the talking. TNA has always been about the wrestling, but you got to understand something. This is a new regime. This is, when I say new regime, new ownership, new leadership, new leaders and new roles, new on-air personalities, new wrestlers. I mean, a whole bunch of new things. So they are setting up business for the future. You may not like the fact that they were, talking a whole bunch in hour number 2, but I think it's good to set up good business in the future. I want to hear what your comments are. Please leave your comments here below at OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestling video. I'm sorry, One Wrestling video on YouTube. You know the deal. Anyway, listen, guys. And again, guys, if you can, give me a follow at Big Ray's Show on Twitter. Carl, the cameraman, thank you so much for being here again, working late. He does not like working late, but you are the steady hand at OneWrestling.com, so I got to appreciate you, and thank you so much, my friend, for being here. So thank you so much. Again, let's jump right into the show, guys. The show kicks off, and I got to be honest, the opening video package was, I thought, very well put together. Very well put together. And the first thing I thought of was ROH. Ring of Honor. Whenever they if you ever watch a Ring of Honor show, pay-per-view, so on and so forth, the actual, not the opening segment, but the video package that plays, the opening, I guess the opening video package for every show shows a lineage of their history, and I thought this was well done. It showed everything from the Asylum days all the way through the Hogan era into what we have now. And I thought it was well done. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper. I mean, the list goes on and on. Ken Shamrock. I mean, the list goes on and on with the names Hogan, with the names that actually were here at TNA Impact Wrestling. But again, it's not TNA anymore. They really were focusing on the whole Impact gimmick. But the show kicks off right off with a huge brawl between Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, and they're fighting all over the arena, all over the stands. This is a blood feud, and this is the way it should play out. We're not going to give the audience everything. We're not going to give you guys every single thing. We're not going to give you blood yet, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen, and we're going to get into that a little later on. But really, really good. You could tell these two really hate each other. They've done it before in the indies. I mean, this team has fallen apart and come back together and fallen apart. One of the best tag teams. But let me tell you something, guys. If you guys have never seen them in a blood feud, you're in for a treat. These guys are going to bring the house down. Josh Matthews sitting down, wondering, why is there a third headphone or headset? And he is absolutely pissed because Jeremy Borash, a man who's been there, he's been in creative, he's done everything. He's done everything from ring announcing to writing to creative to everything. This guy is Mr. Everything. He's been in TNA from day number 1. Go to YouTube, check out the Asylum days. This guy was there from day number 1. And Joey Matthews is absolutely pissed off. He says something. Oh yes, he said some really funny gimmick about how we're not going to be like SmackDown with 30 announcers. Or so. I mean, I'm exaggerating the numbers, but but it's going to be a three-man booth, and he orders, this being Josh Matthews, orders Jeremy Borash to leave, and they cut promos on each other. They go back and forth. Borash says that he was mentored by the great Mike Tenay, who is fantastic. Mike Tenay, knowledge beyond belief, and and then, of course, you have Josh Matthews. Oh, by the way, Mike Tenay said that the industry is full of Ken dolls with no balls, and he was referring to Matthews. Wow. Anyway, Matthews says he sat under the learning tree of Jim Ross for the last, whatever years he called WrestleMania in front of 80,000 fans, so on and so forth. And JB retorts by saying, yeah, and he thinks you're a freaking prick. Beautiful. Well done, guys. I want to hear what your thoughts were on this. I think Jeremy Borash did a good job of putting Josh Matthews, who kind of has like this, I like the gimmick they're doing with him. He's a heel, he's a bad guy, and he thinks, I don't have to earn anything. I worked at the WWE, I have the right to be here, and that is the way they should play the heel gimmick when it comes down to the announcers. But the announcers kind of wore me during this show, but again, I let it go, because we're setting up for later on in the evening. I'm so tired. Thank you for letting me get that cup of coffee drink. Anyway, Cody Rhodes comes out and he says that he wants Moose. He tells Matthew, he no-sells Josh Matthews, who gives him the sweet thing, the sweet gimmick, and of course sweet because, I don't know if you guys know, this is a secret that Cody Rhodes wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling as part of the Bullet Club. But anyway, Brandy Rhodes is out there trying to calm him down. One thing I noticed right off the bat, Cody Rhodes came to the ring with the Global Wrestling, the Global Force Wrestling Next Gen title in hand. We're gonna see a little bit of that throughout the show. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what I think is gonna be happening in the next couple of weeks. We have the DCC versus Reno Scum. Interesting. Okay, apparently these guys are the Future Stars World Tag Team Champions, and yeah, man, from Las Vegas, if I'm correct. God, I didn't write that down, but anyway, they came with their titles, a bunch of indie titles, and they're going with this. Listen, let me just talk about it really quickly right now. As you guys know, if you look at the thumbnail, you have Jeff Jarrett, who's like playing the puppet master type gimmick in the thumbnail that I created. What I actually do feel is that, Jeff Jarrett had an idea of making TNA, or Impact Wrestling, TNA, let's call it TNA, into a modern day type NWA, where they have different territories and there's one champion for all the territories, and the champion goes around defending the titles, and the titles move around here and there, and you have the Texas Heritage State Championship and the Florida Heavyweight Championship and the TV title and all this other stuff. And is it possible that's the route we're going? Who knows? It's very possible that this is going to actually play out. But anyway, neither here nor there, guys. This was actually a solid match with a surprise ending. And at one point, Josh Matthews says, he goes, all right, so one of the guys, this is Marshe, and the other is referring to the fact that they're the headbangers. The big guy with the mohawk, like him a lot. That guy's pretty cool. Anyway, solid tag team action from Scum. I mean, I'll just call him the Scum. It was a good match, and they did like this surfboard. I don't know if you guys know what a surfboard, when you're grabbing the arms, putting it behind the opponent's back, and he's kind of trying to pull him off the mat. Face down is the opponent, and then the other gentleman with the tattoos and the bald head, I forgot their names, jumps off the top rope, double stomp, slamming the opponent's face into the mat. 1, 2, 3. What the hell? So the DCC, Bram, and Eddie Kingston, by the way, takes the pin. He's wearing his full gimmick, his full outfit. He's like a vest and freaking tie and shirt and everything. I can never wrestle in that thing. Anyway, long story. But I've done other things. Anyway, but yeah, man. I mean, it was just really, really surprising to see this tag team go over. And hey, look, they go backstage and they cut a pretty decent promo. And I like their tagline. The big guy, again, I can't remember the name, guys. If you remember the name, please leave it in the comment section here below at onewrestling.com or YouTube/OneWrestlingVideo. He says, what did he say? Jesus. He said something. Oh, you're gonna be silenced by the violence. Do you like it? Works for me. These guys look crazy. These guys look sick. Uh, these guys look they look like badasses, and I love them. I actually do like them. Solid. I could tell that the fans there had no idea who these guys were. But you know what? Everybody starts off at the bottom. Everybody starts off where nobody knows who you are, and you make a name for yourself. There was a video package going over the great wedding between Braxton Sutter and Laurel Van Ness, which actually never happened. If you guys don't know what happened, well, basically, I'm not going to break it down for you because it's too much, but just leave it like this. Braxton Sutter decided to go with, I was going to call it Cherry Bomb, decided to go with Allie. Basically, recap of the wedding. Really nice. Mackenzie, Mitchell is backstage. She's saying she's looking for an interview with Maria. And Sienna comes out and basically cuts a promo and states that Maria had a nervous breakdown, and she goes on and just basically grabs the mic from Mackenzie and tells her that Allie's gonna basically, you're gonna pay, and they're gonna get rid of her, and Maria and I was so surprised how many times they mentioned Maria. Just remember this, guys. I never report things that are nefarious, or I don't make things up. But just remember what I'm saying right here. Just because the Miracle Mike Bennett and Maria did not sign this time around doesn't mean they may not be back shortly. Possible. Anyway, we're going to move on to the X Division match. We got, speaking of Braxton Sutter, we have Braxton Sutter with Allie versus Caleb Konley, Marshe, Rockett, and DJZ. And this was a really, really fun match to watch, guys. If you guys didn't get a chance, I'm sure you can go to poptv.com, YouTube, or Daily Motion. Three of my favorites, and you can find a replay there. But a bunch of quick spots leaves with Marshe Rockett in the ring. Marshe Rockett was just bigger than everybody else, and he played that role very well. I mean, at one point he did a huge turnbuckle spot on Braxton Sutter, which I thought was really, really well done. I mean, again, Marshe Rockett showing that he is a stronger, bigger, stronger guy than the other X Division competitors, but he does not lack in quickness. We're gonna move on. We have Marshe Rockett who goes to the second rope. He's on his way down. Where I like this move, you have the three guys hitting him with a drop kick in midair, and then they start kicking the living crap out of Marshe Rockett. Soon Marshe finds himself on the ring apron, outside of the ring, and little Allie, she climbs to the second rope, and she jumps and she does a flying body attack on Marshe Rockett from outside the ring on the second rope onto the floor. Who knew? She knew how to wrestle. Anyway, yeah, man. So while this is all happening, Braxton hits his finisher for the 1-2-3 on Konley, which is basically like a spinning perfect plex into a whatever gimmick. Anyway, that's 1-2-3, and Braxton Sutter goes over, and I have a feeling that they are, and I'm talking about the Anthem Owl, who I thought, if you go to ImpactWrestling.com, they're doing this whole gimmick where it's like I guess it's like you can win a prize type thing. When I think it's $150 on Impact's website. Anyway, shoptna.com. There you go, that thing. And you have to name the owl. Well, I tweeted them, and I thought it'd be Minerva. If you don't know who Minerva is, well, Google it. It's really cool. I think it'll be a great name. Tell me what you guys think. Anyway, we have Laurel Van Ness, while Braxton Sutter's celebrating his win with his beautiful wife, his beautiful girlfriend. Oh, I don't know, what are they? Anyway, Laurel Van Ness comes out, and she's still in the wedding dress. She looks like a wreck. Looks horrible. She looks like a clown who's drunk a little too much. Anyway, that was interesting. And then we have a promo about the Hardys at the compound. I swear to anything you worship, I thought last week was the last time you were going to see the Hardys, but apparently not. We have Sienna in the ring versus Rachael Ellering. She's a daughter of Paul Ellering, who is now in NXT managing the Powers of Pain. I can't remember those two big boys that he's managing down there, but yeah, man, former manager of the Road Warriors. Really, really cool. Listen, man, Ellering, she looked good. she looked good in the ring, man. She's a power lifter, a very, very strong young lady. They put that over. At one point, she hit an insecure. I mean, it looked really, really solid. Finally, when we're gonna fast forward. When we return into the ring, she being Rachael Ellering. I'm sorry, that being Sienna, hits a big clothesline, reverses it into a toss. I'm sorry, she hits a clothesline and starts to just beat the living hell out of Ellering. She sets up what looks to be an AK-47, but Ellering reverses it into a toss. Excuse me, guys, my notes are all mixed up here. You go back and forth, some strikes. You get an STO from Rachael Ellering. Ellering goes for a springboard leg drop. But no, it's actually reversed and well, she gets the springboard leg drop, only gets her 2 count, but then both girls get up at the same time. Sienna hits the silencer. There you go for the 1-2-3. Again, guys, it's really, really late. Solid. During the entire match, Josh Matthews and JB did not shut the hell up. And this is where it's starting to wear on me a little bit. Again, I appreciate the banter. I know they're going back and forth. I know they're setting up business, but my God, I wanted to shoot myself in the face. Just my thought. Anyway, Bruce Prichard, Mr. I love you. Yes, brother love. I mean, the guy's been in the business. It's a huge, huge podcast, and I'm not going to put the podcast over, but listen, I mean, this guy was great. This guy did a great job cutting the promo. He explained how he was in TNA at one point and how it was on the cusp of being great. And, he says how TNA is dead now and we have new owners and now it is just Impact Wrestling. He was there when Hulkamania. He's talking about how his career led him to when Hulkamania was running wild, brother. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Cena. I mean, they mentioned a hell of a lot of WWE in this thing. And is it good? I don't know. Is it bad? Sometimes it can be bad. I think in this context, excuse me, it worked. Anyway, he says if you're gonna make something great, you got to focus first on the champion. Introduces the champion, Bobby Lashley, and holy crap, the guy has a first name. They're calling him Bobby Lashley, which is his name. I don't know why they just call him Lashley. I don't know who the hell made that call, but Lashley comes into the ring, cuts a promo, so on and so forth, talking about how President Donald Trump picked him, chose him, and God, I just wanted to punch him in the mouth. Even but he probably block it, put me in an armbar, and kill me. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, as all this is going on, he's saying that nobody can defeat him, and out comes Alberto del Rio. Well, actually, El Patron. Alberto El Patron. That's the gimmick name that he's been given. He's been using that on the indie circuit and all over the place. And man, again, they're mentioning WWE a whole lot during this segment, but that's a story for another day. I'm going to get into that a little bit more tomorrow, depending when you're listening to this, maybe later on Friday. That'll be 3/10/2017 on the Impact Rebellion with me and my co-host, Y'all, Ben Hameen. That's the podcast over at WrestleZone.com. You guys can check that out. We're going to get really in-depth in this show and talk about a whole bunch of stuff. See. Lashley tells El Patron, listen, don't make the same mistake that everybody else has. Everybody wants to, beat the champ, but they can't, so on and so forth. El Patron makes a good point. You have beat everybody, but you have never beaten me. It's true. He's right. And here comes trouble as EC3 comes to the ring, and he tells El Patron, listen, El Patron, you got to earn it here. You got to earn your title shot. You can't just, because El Patron wants a shot at the world title. They go back and forth. They were going back and forth before that. And what did EC3? The man who gets one is something about somebody being EC3's bitch. But anyway, however, Bruce Prichard finds that El Patron, who has been a champion in the WWE and all over the country and all over the world, basically Mexico and everywhere, Lucha Underground, is deserving of this title shot on his debut. And this is what's going to happen. EC3 does not look happy. Now we have a whole bunch of segments here, so I'm going to run through these really quickly. We have Eddie Edwards, who's backstage, and he's cutting a promo on Davey Richards, and then Angelina Love, Davey Richards' wife, comes out, talks a little crap, and slaps the living daylights out of Davey, which is cool. It's funny, I'm out of Eddie, and it's funny that Eddie's like, this guy's supposed to be a real man, but you're out here doing the talking for him, and it's really cool. And he goes, oh, but by the way, you hit harder than he does. Then Cody Rhodes comes out. He goes to the announce table and says, with the next gen title, says that he's looking for Moose. JB tells him, look, dude, we spoke about this already. Moose is nowhere near. He's in friggin' Japan. Cody Rhodes says he's going to wait in the ring until Moose shows up. He sits in there for like 30 seconds and then he leaves. I don't get it. Dutch Mantell. Dirty Dutch Mantell, formerly Zeb Coulter, comes out. He cuts a really, really great promo. He puts himself over on, he talks about how long he's been in the business. He was he was backstage at TNA. First time he's on TNA TV, but he had helped TNA a long time ago when TNA was great again. He talked about guys like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Sting, Kurt Angle, names that just made this company really, really pretty awesome, man. And whether you were a fan of it or not, and they slowly drifted away, and that happened because of a lack of leadership. Dixie Carter, but yeah, man, Dirty Dutch Mantell finally finishes his promo. I thought the promo was good. It kind of made me feel like there is hope for this company moving forward. I think he did a great job. I want to know what you guys think. But Mantell asked everybody to stand up, put their hand over their heart, and say, we the people will make TNA or make Impact Wrestling great again, which is pretty cool, man. And then I like the fact that he comes out and he goes, I am Zeb. Oh, I can't use that word. I can't use that name anymore. Formerly, I am the man formerly known as Zeb Coulter. Really cool. We'll go back to the Hardy compound. I should have had a drink before I watched this. Brother Nero is backstage to battle the Kangaroo with the spirit of Smoking Joe Frazier. And they start wrestling, Brother Nero and the Kangaroo. And they're wrestling, and then Matt goes and he gets involved. And finally, they have to continue and go off onto the Expedition of Gold. And they grab onto Vanguard 1 and they disappear with the belts. All of a sudden, they appear backstage what looks like where it looks like around the back where ROH happened, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I have to look into that. But then all of a sudden it was just weird. You had the Decay and they appear and they pick up the belts, and Crazy Steve is like, thanks for the ride, you bucket of balls. So I'm assuming that they somehow got their hands on Vanguard 1. And anyway, Rosemary's like, oh, the Hardys have finally officially been deleted and obsolete and have been decayed. And I guess the Decay are the new tag team champions. I hope this is not where they're going to go with this. Even though the Decay picked up the title, I hope they go through some type of tournament or something like that, or four-way or anything. I'd rather them do like maybe a 2-night tournament. Maybe leading into Slammiversary, which... JB was backstage in the ring, and he announced on July 2nd, this year, 2015, July, what? Oh, Slammiversary 15, July 2nd. I am all over the place. You know what? Let me tell you something. I do reviews all the time, and I've been doing this for a long time. Tonight, not on my A game. Really tired. Again, got the coffee. I apologize, guys. I'm stuttering over my words. Got a lot of work to do, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning right now here in New York City when I'm recording this. But anyway, 2:30. I'm sorry, just before 2:30. No, 3:08. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so yeah, man. JB announces Slammiversary, 15th year anniversary, July 2nd, 2017. Hey, it would be great if they do the tag team tournament then. What do you think? That would work, right? A tag team tournament leading to the main event over at Slammiversary. That would probably make the most sense. But right now we're March, April, May, June, July. That's 4 months. No, they're not going to be able to do that. Yep. So maybe the Decay are the tag team champions, but they should do some type of tournament again. Anyway, we have Alberto El Patron versus Bobby Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not going to give you a full breakdown of this match. It is a typical Alberto Del Rio match if you ever watched one. Solid. These guys are two professionals, been in the ring for a very, very long time. We're going to pick it up where EC3 walks out into the ramp, and Bobby Lashley goes for a lariat, but Alberto Del Rio ducks, and the referee gets laid out. Alberto locks in the armbar. Soon a new ref comes to the ring. Lashley trying to get Lashley to tap, but Bobby uses his power and picks up Del Rio, who is a huge man. Actually, he's taller than Lashley. Picks him up and slams him down for a 2 count. Later on, we have Alberto Del Rio that sets him up for another arm breaker, but no, it doesn't happen. El Patron hits a DDT, sets up for the kick to the head of Bobby Lashley. A Savate kicks to the head, but guess what? Bobby Lashley, maybe I watched it wrong. Bobby Lashley looks like he pulled the ref into the kick. The referee gets kicked in the face. The second referee, laid out. Bobby Lashley hits a spine buster and sees that both referees are down and goes to grab the belt. Well, actually, first he goes and wakes up the other referee, but didn't work out, so on and so forth. He sees that the referee is down and goes to grab the belt. However, when he is getting into the ring, he gets a kick from Alberto Del Rio right in the freaking mush. And Alberto Del Rio says, you know what, man, I'm going to take this belt and I'm going to hit you right in the face. And he does. Smacks Bobby Lashley right in the head with the title belt. 1, 2, 3. He covers the TNA. But if it's not the TNA championship, they're going to have to change that belt. Is there going to be a new title next week? Interesting. I just thought about that. Tag team titles. Yeah, they're going to have to be Impact Championships. Interesting. Anyway, Alberto El Patron is your new, for now, TNA World Heavyweight Champion. What happened after the match, the referees were outside the ring and they were going at each other, man. They were discussing, but listen, discussions here and there, I heard some things happen. Possibly Del Rio is not the champion, but I'm not going to stooge it off here. Go to the dirt sheets if you want to. I hate spoilers. That's why I try not to do that here, guys. But hey, it's fun, guys. I have to play the gimmick, man. I have to make believe that I don't know what's going to happen or may not happen. Maybe I do know what's going to happen. Maybe I don't know what's going to happen. Just don't give me the spoilers here, guys. Anyway, listen, guys. I thought this was an excellent way to kick off the new era of Impact Wrestling. Enjoyed it very, very much, guys. Hey, guys, give us a follow here at OneWrestling.com, YouTube, /OneWrestling Video. Give me a follow on Twitter, on Instagram, and now on Snapchat, all at Big Ray's Show. If you want to find me on Facebook, I'm Raymond Big Ray Hernandez. Give me a follow, guys. I'll follow you right back, and I always love interacting with you guys. Don't forget the Impact Rebellion every single Friday with me and my co-host, Bin Hameen. Follow him on Twitter at Bin_Hameen. Follow us as a family at One Wrestling. Follow the legendary Bill After at After One Wrestling. The Big Slam Nation family at Big Slam Nation with Billy Ray Valentine, 8-Track Brown, the Professor, Mimi, the Wrestling Chick, Connor, Kayfabe. Am I missing anybody? Of course, the Enigmatic. I can't even say that word, but you know what I'm saying. The Enigma, known as the Snapchat Extraordinaire. Over 30,000 people that watch him. Please, guys, if you guys don't know, you should give him a follow on Snapchat. Give him an ad. Fame Black. Follow him on Twitter at Fame Black. Am I leaving anybody out? Lisa Sahara. She writes for us over at OneWrestling.com. Lisa, give her a follow on at Lisa Sahara. Listen, guys, I don't think, am I leaving anyone out? I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. Of course. My brother will always be right over my shoulders here at OneWrestling.com. Give my brother Bill Schuyler a follow at You Got the Show as he watches down from heaven. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say this, I would do this for a living, but if I couldn't, I'd do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. I love talking TNA Impact Wrestling with you every single week here at OneWrestling.com. Hopefully next week I'll get this report up a lot earlier, but again, I got paperwork out there. Well, you know what it is. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me here. Love you. See ya. Peace.